Hey guys, Mangelo9K1 here, telling you hello for the first time. This is my first MotoVlog. Don't know how well it's gonna go, but we'll kind of wing it here. I'll do a short one so it doesn't, suck too bad. It doesn't go too long if it sucks, So, let's get started right off the bat. A little bit about myself. I am currently riding a 2013 Yamaha V-Star 250. Don't know if you can see the color at any point during this video, but it's a nice blue color, darker blue. It's a really nice color, I also own a Yamaha YZF R6S, and that bike, man, it hauls the booty. This bike not so much, but that's okay. I love it for what it is. Nice little cruising bike. So again, a little bit about myself. Those are my two bikes. I am in my 20s. I am currently going to school for engineering / business / IT. Not quite sure which one I'm actually going to go for. It's kind of all up in the air. I'm currently employed by a retail company doing IT work, just level 1 support stuff, If this doesn't work, try swapping it out with this, and if that doesn't work, try swapping it out with that, that good stuff. Nothing too crazy. So I wouldn't really consider it true IT work. More so, I just troubleshoot. That's about it. So, which I guess is the basis of IT. I do help, resolve some issues on the phones, but for the most part, I'm not fixing those things. I'm just kind of, not physically fixing. I'm just software support, stuff like that. So I guess you could call it entry-level IT. So we'll leave it at that. So that's kind of pretty much who I am, what I do, what I ride, a little bit about myself, just so you have an idea of who it is you're watching. Let's see. I had a couple shout-outs here. Let me make my turn. I'll do my shout-outs. Hey there, puppy. You lost? Guess so. Well, good thing he wasn't lost. So anyway, a little bit about myself. Let's see, what was my shout-outs. Okay, so my first initial shout-out is going to go to my good old dear friend Manda. Manda was supposed to help me come up with some topics, but she was a little slow on the draw. That's okay. So miss you, Amanda. Wish you still live in Texas, but I know you're doing better in Colorado. Shout out to Miss Sisbit and Miss Haley for kind of supporting me for doing this. Shout out to Mi Familia for not killing me when I got this bike. I'm sure there's a couple more I'm forgetting, but hey, if I forget anybody, let me know, and I'll give you a shout out. So, what made me get this bike and my R6? Well, my dad That's a nice looking moon. You probably can't see that very well in the video. But my dad has always had a Yamaha. He had a 1972, 73-ish, early 70s Yamaha, what he would call an Enduro. Basically an all-terrain motorcycle, you know, on-road, off-road, dual sport, I guess you could call it. And it looks pretty sweet. I think it was only like a 125, something small. And then he also had in 2000, I want to say 2002, he got a Yamaha, what's it called? VMAX. Incredibly powerful bike, man. Let's see, what else here? So I'm a new rider myself, just recently passed the motorcycle safety training course. I've only been riding for, let's see, less than a year. Ugh, got a bug on my windshield. So the R6S was obviously one I got because I wanted to, you know, haul the booty. That's why pretty much anybody gets a sport bike. And I got this one because I've always wanted cruisers. So, and Arnold Schwarzenegger had I think he was a fat boy in Terminator 2. And man, that dude was pretty sweet looking. So that was kind of my inspiration. Arnold Schwarzenegger, my dad, and then seeing that scene in The Matrix, whatever the second one was called, Reloaded. That was a pretty sweet motorcycle scene. I think they're riding Ducatis. My half brother also, he rides as well. That's what he had. He had a Ducati. I couldn't tell you what model, to be honest with you. Let's see. I think it was 991, or what are those? I don't know what they're called. Like, I don't know really anything about Ducati. There's one that's like a 991 or something like that. 990. I don't know what it is. But it was a leader bike. So yeah, my family's kind of ridden. You know, that's where I guess it runs in my blood. Plus, it's awesome getting a ride, man. Nothing else like it. So, that was kind of my inspirations, why I chose what I chose. So, I'm not going to get into the whole, at least not right now, I'm not going to get into the whole, you know, should you get into 600 or a 250? That's a discussion I'll save for a later video. But I will offer some tips that I've learned and accrued from this past, honestly, month of riding. So from new rider to new rider, here's what I've learned, and you know, can maybe pass down to you if you're a new rider watching this. If you're an experienced rider watching this, you're like, man, this guy, you know, total noob. So the first thing, when you're buying your motorcycle, be sure to account for equipment, your gear, which I did not. I did not account for that. I should have. I don't know why I didn't account for it. I guess I was just so excited in getting a motorcycle that I didn't do that. Very important to take account for, though. So definitely do that. I at least got the helmet. I at least have the helmet. So that stuff, I mean, the helmet, I mean, is probably the cheapest thing that I've got so far, which is like $75. So I'm sure you can get gloves for cheaper than that, but I was looking at some really nice ones that I was hoping to get. So be sure to account for that. The next thing is, if you don't feel comfortable getting a super high-end sport bike, and you're being told that, oh, you'll get tired of a 250, buy yourself a used one. That 600 is way more power than I can handle right now, and I know I can already tell that I'm getting a little bit too comfortable with this 250. I still love it. I love it, you know, like nobody's business. But that 600, I find myself craving the 600. So, and that'll happen. It's gonna happen with anything. So, if you're not comfortable, get yourself a 250. And don't push yourself. That's the last thing you want to do, because it's not safe out there for motorcyclists. So get yourself a 250 and stay alive. Get yourself the gear. Do everything you can to stay alive. But, you know, it's your money. You can do whatever you want with it. Who am I to tell you what to do? But anyway, I got a 600, and it's a lot of power. Like I said, more than I can handle for right now. But 250 is just fine for me right now. Fantastic gas mileage, you know, nice going around the, you know, neighborhood / town bike. Another thing that I've learned is if you're not comfortable with traffic like me, ride around at night. Now that may not be an option for you. I have a schedule in which I am able to do that. So what I'll do is I'll ride at midnight at least. I'll ride from midnight to like all the way up until like 3 in the morning. Beyond that, I won't ride. Mostly because I'm just tired. And if I do that too often, I will I'll mess up my sleep schedule. So anyway, you know, do what you can. If you're nervous about riding in general, like not being able to, you know, for instance, like let's say you're going to take the motorcycle safety training course. Don't worry about that. That motorcycle safety training course, there were people who dropped that bike at least 3 or 4 times, and they still passed. The instructor I had was extremely understanding. Now, that's not to say all of them will be like that. This guy, the only person who didn't pass was this guy. We'll call him Daffy for the time being. So Daffy had the reading level of probably a 2nd grader. Every time he come up to a word that he didn't understand, he'd just kind of throw in a word that sounded similar or looked similar to what he thought it would be. So for instance, he was reading a section that said something along the lines of, when coming up on an intersection, stay in the center or something like that. I can't remember what it was. But he would say, when coming up to interception. This dude, like I said, that was it. That was the whole entire time. And dude couldn't follow with the simplest instructions. Just read this paragraph and stop right there. That dude could not get that through his head. So, he's the only one that failed. And that's because he, the first day, it was pretty hot out. You know, I'm in Texas. And, it got pretty toasty while we were out there. And, you know, toasty and muggy. And, he couldn't take the heat. Now, I don't know if he was from Oklahoma or something like that, you know. But he just couldn't take it. He was a bigger dude. He was handicapped. That dude could barely get out of his vehicle. He had a handicap plaque and everything. So he had told me before we even started about how he had a bad knee or something like that. He had gotten in a motorcycle accident. I mean, right off the bat, I was like, dang, man, you really do need this course. So, he wasn't safe at all. So he left the first day. He just flat out laid down in the middle of the day. I did just lay down, like from heat exhaustion. So the second day, and our instructor told us, if you refuse to do any of the things or can't do any of them, you're automatically out of the class. So he next day at probably 10-ish in the morning, who comes up but good old Daffy. Daffy on his shoot. It honestly looked like we were in the class. We were riding 125 Kawasaki 2009 Eliminators. I just totally effed up all of that. 2009 Kawasaki Eliminator 125cc. That dude came up on what looked like the same exact bike, except just a bigger cc. 600. And he comes up and starts making a huge scene. Oh, I can't. I told you I was handy. That was another thing he do. He kept calling everybody he was handicapped. Oh, I told you I was handicapped. I told you I couldn't make it. Blah, 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 blah. Our instructor, being the nice guy he is, like, I understand, but you have to understand that I have to follow my rules. Or the rules set by the MSF. And he was like, oh, I understand. Hey, I'll shake your hand on that, but the MSF will be hearing from my lawyer. And then he rode off into the sunset, never to be seen again. At least by us. So, kind of getting back to what I was talking about. MSF course. Easy course. Like I said, he's the only guy that failed. And it was because of some crazy stuff, man. So easy stuff. I had never, if you could ride a bicycle, you'll be just fine. I had never even driven a manual vehicle. I understood the concept of it because my dad had a truck that was stick shift. It was like a 96 F-150. Weird, right? So I understood the concept. I understood the concept of the clutch and all that good stuff, which I guess goes a little bit, but, it's not the same as riding or even driving a manual vehicle. So you'll be just fine. And a lot of the people, too, if you're scared that you're too small, don't be, because there were some pretty tiny girls that were taking that course. And they did just fine. Now, like I said, a couple of them, they fell, they scraped themselves up a little bit. But it wasn't anything that they couldn't, handle. They were just fine. They weren't, critically injured or anything like that. As long as you can balance, just the number one tip, if you're worried about the MSF, or the motorcycle safety training course, get familiar with the clutch. The clutch is your friend. If you don't have that clutch mastered, you're not really going anywhere. And that's going to be the key to your success, is the clutch. Which, I'm still learning how to use the clutch. It's kind of tricky sometimes, but you'll get the hang of it. That's the whole point of the course, is to teach you safety, and I don't know if they're designed to teach you how to ride. I guess they are. Because they, what in the world? That can't be Top Gear. If you're watching this video and you're counting my gears, I don't know if I'm in Top Gear or not. It sure doesn't feel like it, but I guess I am. At least there's nobody behind me. So, motorcycle safety training course is pretty easy. You honestly have to try to fail. And Daffy there, he tried to fail. And you're gonna get totally different people, you know, riding, wanting to ride, different reasons. Like there was one kid there, like 21 years old, 21, has a kid, if not on the way. And that dude, he was already riding an R6. That was his bike. That was his mode of transportation, was an R6, and he just needed a license for it. So that's what he was doing there. Getting his license. And at the end of the course, you don't really know if you got like barely passed or if you passed with flying colors. All you'll know is that you just passed or failed. Which our instructor, he printed off he said that he printed off the passes the night before, knowing that we would all pass. Well, that's a lot of confidence. But he was a great teacher. If I can get his name and insert it later in this, I'll definitely do that. So yeah, super easy course. I wouldn't, you know, if you're nervous about it, you know, be a little bit nervous about it, but don't let it get to you. It's just like anything else, you know, you've got to learn at some point. Everybody's learned at some point. Even the best riders in the world, you know, Valentino Rossi, that dude started, you know, he had to learn somewhere too. That's how it is. You just have to learn. And nobody's going to make fun of you for trying. If they do, then, you know, nana nana boo boo, stick your head in doo doo. I don't know why I downshifted. I honestly wasn't paying attention. That could have been bad. So, the hardest thing about the MSF, and I'm sure you've already read about it, if you've been doing any of your research on the MSF, or the motorcycle safety training course rather, the hardest thing you're going to be doing is the figure eight, which that honestly isn't that hard. It's all clutch control. You learn how to mess with that clutch and you'll be just fine. If you have your own motorcycle, or if you buy your motorcycle before you go, and you can take it out to a empty parking lot, you've already got an advantage over everybody in the course already. Well, except for those with you know, riding experience already. But you've already got experience over them, those who've never ridden. So keep that in mind if you have one, or if you plan on getting one, that you'll have, you know, even if you don't, I've never had a motorcycle in my entire life, and I passed with flying colors. I knew I did. There weren't any parts that I was worried about. The 4 things we were tested on, it was raining that day, so there's a little bit of a change in the, you know, procedures. But for the most part, we did everything that you would normally do. So we did the figure eight, which you had the box, which you come in, you do the figure eight, and then ride out or something like that. And then we had a 3 lanes, 1 lane, middle lane, left lane, middle lane, right lane. And the way it would work is the teacher would say, all right, left lane. And then so you'd have to swerve into the left lane. For right lane, you have to swerve into the right lane. And it was like an evasive maneuver kind of thing. And that one was pretty easy. And I want to say there was another one where you where there was like, what was it? It's kind of like a snake. And you have to take the inside lane on all of it, like outside, inside, outside. You'll learn that. I want to say it's top gear. Yep, top gear. And that was easy too. And that's honestly, and he told us about it later on, that's the same as doing the figure eight, except it's all laid out for you. So it's easy peasy. And then the last thing we had to do was stop at a certain point. We had to get up to a certain certain speed, and then you had to stop real quick on a certain line or before a line or something like that. And we had a little bit of, that's where I was talking about, where we had a little bit of leeway because it was raining. So we got a little bit of, you know, it really doesn't matter too much if you're, since we're going that slow. But he gave us a little bit of benefit of the doubt because it was, you know, raining and didn't want us to overexert ourselves and crash and all that stuff. So that was pretty much it. If I remember correctly, that was all the testing that we did, which, like I said, was easy. So you don't have to worry about motorcycle safety training course. You'll pass with flying colors, I guarantee it. Honestly, I had more trouble with the DMV test than I did with the motorcycle safety training course. And it was just things like, one of the questions I know for a fact I didn't read properly. Some of them are like, you know, what's the most common reason for death among motorcyclists? And I think it was like drinking and driving, or something like drinking and riding, or something like that. You know, stuff that honestly isn't going to help you ride unless you're stupid, you know? So, I mean, obviously you're not going to, you know, don't drink and ride. What common person doesn't know that? But, you know, whether it's the most statistically, you know, I would have thought it would have been speed. I was wrong. Because I didn't, you know, I was like drinking and riding. You know, how many people, number one, have motorcycles? And those who have motorcycles, you know, are they really going to be drinking and riding? Motorcyclists, I find, tend to be some of the most responsible people I know, with obvious exceptions to, you know, all the guys who are doing wheelies and stuff like that. I couldn't even do one if I wanted to. So anyway, that was honestly harder than the actual motorcycle safety training course, and I passed that too. I think I got, you know what? Actually, I think I got like a 70. So I probably could have done a little bit more studying. But I kind of didn't want to. Because studying's dumb. I'm just kidding. Be sure to study. I'm just really bad at studying. So anyway, that's about it for the motorcycle safety training course. That's about it about myself. About what I ride. Did my shout outs. Like I said, in future videos I'll come up with new material. Some of the things you may find me talking about would be the gear that I ride with. I know a lot. I'm kind of into like technology, video games, stuff like that. So my MotoVlogs may talk about stuff like that at first, before I actually get out into like, you know, traffic and stuff like that. And then once I start riding in the city and stuff like that, you know, you'll start seeing some more, you know, I guess, of the juicy stuff that people want to see, which is like reaction videos, you know, like with, you know, Yummy R6, you know, almost getting cut off by dumb bitches not, you know, looking at the road like they're supposed to. They're on their cell phones. Or Snowcat, sorry bud, I don't know what your numbers are. 818, I don't know, something like that. That dude drives around the city a lot, and he has a lot of people like cut him off and turn on red, you know, stuff that would kill a motorcyclist. And just random people yelling at him. I thought that was crazy. Gotta fix my microphone here. There it is. See, this is the nice thing about riding at night at like 1 in the morning. Nobody on the roads. But then again, this is also a not very highly traveled road at all to begin with. So yeah, that's what my initial videos are going to be about. That's probably one of the things I can talk the most about. Let's see what else. I'm probably going to stay away from anything political, you know, all that charged stuff. Just because, you know, there's a time and a place for that stuff, and a motovlog probably isn't one of them. You know, I'm sure someday I'll touch on it at some point, you know, just kind of how it is, that sometimes it generates views. But, I'm going to try and stay away from that stuff. I just want to keep it, you know, a nice, you know, fun, motovlog for, you know, for nobody to even watch, probably, except for me and, you know, whoever it is I, you know, talk to about it. So, let's see, anything else I want to cover? Maybe in the next video I'll talk about, the motorcycle safety training course and kind of go over what I remember from it. There's an elementary school kind of close to where I live, and I'll do one of my videos there. I'll do the, you know, all the basic stuff that they did. And then, maybe even one of these evenings I'll get on my R6 and I'll do a couple videos on that. For right now, like I said, I'm a new rider, so this is what I ride. This is what I feel comfortable on for right now. Probably one of the biggest things I learned about riding is confidence. That was one thing I was terrified of my R6. It just when I brought it home, it had so much power, and this is much more forgiving than an R6 is. So that's why I got one of these. Plus, it honestly wasn't that much. So, anyway, that's pretty much it. That's everything I can think of to talk about in a short video. Hopefully I haven't run out of room on my phone here. That's what I'm currently using. I'm using the headphone cables for my microphone. When I get more money, I'll buy a Bluetooth headset so that way it doesn't suck for y'all whenever y'all watch these videos. But, you know, maybe if I ever get big, you guys can say, oh, hey, yeah, I remember watching Mangelo9K1 when he was still using his iPhone headphones, microphone, you know? And then I'll say, hell yeah, hey, I remember you, you know, you were the one of the first people that liked my video, that commented on it, subscribed to it. You know, maybe, like I said, if I ever get big, maybe I'll send you some goodie bags, like some t-shirts and, I don't know, stickers, bumper sticker, I don't know, and then maybe for my first 100 subscribers, I'll do, like, you know, if I ever get rich from doing this, or, you know, well off, maybe I'll do, like, a giveaway where it's like, oh, hey, here's a, I don't know, $500 gift card to RevZilla.com, or here's an Xbox One. I saw somebody doing one of those. I thought that was pretty crazy. So pricey. So, yeah, thanks guys for watching. Be sure to like, subscribe. Oh, that was lightning out there. Sorry guys, got a little distracted there. Be sure to like, subscribe, and comment on my videos. I don't know if favoriting does anything. Maybe. If it does, be sure to favorite it. But I wouldn't favorite all my videos because I doubt they're all going to be your favorite. Or maybe they will be. Who knows? So yeah, be sure to like, subscribe, and whatever else it is, comment, I guess. I don't know what they all say. I'll figure it out. And, you know, I'll keep doing these, you know, whether y'all like them or not. This is just for fun, you know, just for family and stuff like that. But like I said, if y'all like it, I'll keep doing it. You know, I'll think of some new material. In the meantime, I'll just kind of do my thing and just, you know, come up with random topics. So, I'll talk to you guys later. See you next time.